Good morning everybody, and this is your Dow Jones day trade setups for today. So we hammered through a lot of the structure that we were talking about yesterday, and no real attempt to stop at any of these levels. So I don't want to draw all of them in. Let's just put that covers a lot of them. So you can see each of these tails here, each of these fractals is what we'd be looking at for potential support, and we found support at 39,132 area. Did move to the upside and then rejected the levels higher up. Now nothing really on the 8 hour that you can see that we were rejected, but we did reject. We've got to cross over the moving averages, and now we've broken below the 150 EMA. So you do have non-farm payrolls today, so that is going to be a bit of an issue. Well, I suppose an issue for whoever's holding long at the moment, because I have a feeling somebody knows something, and that is why we had the Feds talking very hawkishly last night, which caused this. So there's probably something in the data that is going to make the markets drop again. So looking at the 3 hour, and you can see that looked like we're building a base. I mean, nice pin bar here, and then let's just see if we can find what we were rejecting. I think really this is the closest fractal here, 39,415. We went quite far past that, so we'll look at it on the lower time frames. But on the 3 hour, we did have a crossover. As I said yesterday, we were hovering below the 150, so this was the indication that there is a potential second move. Strong move down, flags, second move down, so textbook stuff at the moment. But we are far from the moving averages, so you don't want to be jumping in short down here. You want to be looking for structure higher up, and you're going to need to start putting some of the levels that are close by. This pin bar is obviously a huge magnet. So if we drop down to the hour, start looking at yesterday's price action, buyers came in, was looking like we were looking for something higher up, and hindsight's always a perfect science. There was your first closest fractal, and there's the next one, and look what happened. It just shows you, whenever you are below the 150 EMA on the hour, on any time frame, in actual fact, whenever price comes back towards it, there's a higher probability of it rejecting it. Whether you're moving to the upside or the downside, doesn't really matter. But there's always a higher probability of price rejecting that level for a move. And that's exactly what happened yesterday. So there was definitely a shorting opportunity up there. I wasn't really in there. I was looking for a move in the opposite direction on the S&P, which didn't really play out. So if you look at the 15-minute here, you would have been forgiven if you were trading on the 15-minute. Strong move up, pull back. Okay, I'm looking for an entry here because this looks like it's going to be going. But then it just fizzles out again before accelerating to the downside. So this is all based on noise. So you had the Feds speaking last night. Well, some of them were speaking, and they were fairly hawkish, which is what caused this. And I'm assuming, if you have a look at the S&P, you'll see there was like a couple of red bars like this, very, very, very subtle, and then all of a sudden dropped. So there was definitely people that knew something, and there's probably people that know what's in the data that's coming out today, so they've really positioned themselves. Now it's up to us to follow the trend if it is going to fall, and they're not trying to trap you. So for me today, watch these levels: 38,896, 38,960, 39,050, and worst case scenario 39,132. That would be a stop area for me. But any of these three levels, price gets back up to this area, then I would expect it to reject and start moving to the downside. But you do need to wait for the data. Now I just want to head left here on the hour, because just use these levels. There is a massive pin bar here. You can see how it lines up with quite a bit of structure. And if you just keep heading left, use this other level here. Just want to line up where the actual bottom is. Maybe something like that. Okay, so I'll have a look at what we're doing here. So you can see this is kind of the bottom, 39,565. Probably goes down to 38,500. Yeah, so there are a couple of tails below this, but this is the actual bottom of what was the range, as you can see. Okay, there is more structure slightly below that, but if you look here, look at all the interactions here. So that, and I mean, we can drill down to the 8 hour and you'll see it a bit clearer. You see all these tails here. So you've got to still clear through all this before it starts becoming a bit easier to slip to the downside. So there's still quite a bit of work to be done, and if non-farm payrolls is going to be as bad as what we are seeing here, then I think you're going to see a fairly strong move past all of this, and it's going to be very difficult to catch this falling knife if it does get going. So that's kind of my view at the moment. Really would prefer to see a rejection up here at 38,900 area. That's kind of the zone that I would like to see a rejection for a move to the downside. What you may find today is that we just get negative data, so we just drift sideways. We're right where we are now. Data is negative, massive move down, then the pullback onto one of these tails that it breaks through, and then the rejection for the move to the downside. So wait for non-farm payrolls. I don't think you're going to be looking for longs today. You're going to be looking for shorts. So anything that, any kind of rally, you're going to be selling off. Just keep your stops in, just in case that there's something, and just in case this is a trap. But I somehow just don't think so. I think a couple of days, at the beginning of the week basically, is when somebody knew something and got this going, and then the second move has happened. So this is more leaning towards a fall for me. Anyway, keep that money in the pocket until those first 15 minutes of the data is out before you start looking for the opportunities. Hope it helps, and we'll catch up with you on Monday. Cheers for now.